Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another Schmeat video. It has been probably over a month at this point. I've been really busy with school. I have started another YouTube channel called Dentistry with Sam. You guys should definitely check it out. I'll probably have something on screen showing that YouTube channel, but I just want to pop on here before the Hornets start their regular season and just talk a little bit about the Hornets. There's a lot of stuff going on, and yet not a lot of stuff at all. It's kind of like a mixture of both. But the big thing that just happened yesterday in yesterday's preseason game, Lamelo Ball gets hurt in the third quarter, and it came out that he has a grade 2 ankle sprain, which is a big deal, right? He's going to miss a portion of the start of the season, and that's a big deal, right? We have our centerpiece out, and when you start a season, it's hard to really get everything in order, and especially it's hard to get everything in order when you don't have your centerpiece there. You don't have 90% of your playmaking creation. So to start the Hornets season, which starts I believe next week Wednesday the 16th, it is going to be rough. Some good news, Gordon Hayward came back from injury. I didn't even know he was injured until I got the notification that he's back from injury. So that's some news. What is the likelihood of Gordon Hayward staying healthy this season? Probably 0%. So that's the only bad thing, is that if he's starting out this preseason missing preseason games with an injury, and it wasn't some major injury, right? He didn't tear his Achilles or something. It was just some soreness or something like that. What is the regular season going to hold? When is the last time he has played over 70 games? Because it wasn't for the Celtics. You probably have to go back to the Utah Jazz, honestly. So that's Gordon Hayward. He did fine yesterday in the preseason game. So we got Lamelo, Gordon Hayward out the way. Another big thing to note here is Miles Bridges and that situation. It is still ongoing. He didn't do some petty crime. This is domestic violence, right? This is a big deal. And first, he's probably going to get punished by, the U.S. Department of, I believe he's in California. So he's going to get punished federally, and then the NBA also has to issue a punishment as well. You don't just get $1, especially for this matter. The NBA is going to probably issue a punishment if they don't deem the federal punishment enough, right? So let's say he doesn't get any jail time. Let's say he just gets, I don't know, he has to pay a fine or something. The NBA is probably going to issue their suspension as well. So that is still ongoing. There's still a bunch of court cases that keep on getting pushed back for some reason. I believe the last one that was held was early October. So that is still ongoing. We won't have our highest point per game score from last season probably for most of this season. I would think. These things don't just figure themselves out. So it'll take months, right? We saw the Deshaun situation, even though that wasn't necessarily domestic violence, that was still, a serious situation, and Deshaun is out for most of the NFL season. So Miles Bridges, I expect to not see a lot of this season. Other players we have here, James Bouknight has looked decent in preseason. Nothing spectacular. It's all what we know James Bouknight is. Mark Williams, again, another rookie. He has looked fine as our 15th overall pick, right? He has looked fine. He's guarding the perimeter. He had a play versus Will Barton where he was out in the perimeter against Will Barton, and he held his own. So that's a good sign. But the overarching thing here is that, and I've made multiple videos over this offseason talking about it, is that we have stepped back as a franchise, as a team. We have stepped back. Regardless of any situations, I know the Miles Bridges situation isn't up to ownership or isn't up to anything besides Miles Bridges and his family. We still took a step back, right? Miles Bridges, that situation, but our team doesn't have the same amount of juice as we did when Lamelo Ball was a rookie. When it was very promising, I remember in that rookie season, I reacted to probably 30 some games on my YouTube channel. It was exciting. It was new. LaMelo Ball was fun. It's like LaMelo Ball is still fun. Our team is still young, I guess, but it doesn't have that same juice, right? We know the ceiling that this Hornets team presently constructed has, and we didn't have that 2 years ago. We didn't know if you put the right pieces around LaMelo in 2 years what this team would turn out to be. But now we have made no free agent acquisitions. We have made no trades over the these last 2 off seasons since we drafted LaMelo. So our team is kind of stagnant, and with the loss to Miles Bridges, we've digressed, right? I made a ton of videos this offseason talking about how we probably had the worst offseason in the NBA. So it's a doom and gloom year for the Charlotte Hornets. And I brought this up to one of my friends. Why don't the Charlotte Hornets aren't contending for the championship? We might get a play-in spot, even though the East is a lot better. You have Bradley Beal coming back for the Wizards. You have the Celtics being good again. The Bucks, the Raptors, the Hawks got better. There's a multitude of teams that got better in the East when we just stayed stagnant. So I don't even think we're making the play-in tournament. So should we go for Victor Wembanyama? However you say his name. Should we go for him? Is my question, because we're not going to win anything. If we do make the playoffs, it's going to be as an 8 seed. So that's a possibility. I'm just putting it out there. That Victor could be the savior of our franchise. And I said that with LaMelo 2 years ago, and we're still not even in the playoffs. That's the one thing that if you look at a couple of my videos, I made comparisons against Anthony Edwards. I made comparisons, with him and Anthony Edwards, LaMelo and Anthony Edwards. Although Anthony Edwards has D'Angelo Russell, he has Cat, he had Patrick Beverly for that playoff run. It wasn't really a run because they lost in the first round, but I would say he's a more winning player than LaMelo at this point. Even though they made the playoffs once in the 2 seasons with Edwards, LaMelo Ball hasn't been in the playoffs. He's just been in the play-in and lost by 30 each round. And although Edwards has a better team, right, they just brought in Rudy Gobert, LaMelo is not a winning player at this point. Yes, he's an all-star player. He is the rookie of the year. But that's the next step, right? I said it this offseason that the next step for him is to win with this team and try to carry them to the best of his abilities. And for him being out the start of this season, it's going to be even tougher because they're probably going to lose a good majority of the games that he's out. So trying to fight from that, trying to get that continuity back in the regular season is going to be even harder when he's not there for the season opener and for the games to come. So anyways, I thought I'd just hop on here, give my thoughts before the season starts. Maybe I'll do a video where I talk about my expectations, like try to predict how many games we're going to win, stuff like that. So I will see you guys later. See you guys in the next video.